Hello, we are Hawksman Real Estate. I am James Mason.
And I'm Sarah Colenso.
And we are here to talk to you about the local property market. With many of you asking us questions about what's happening right now, we thought it would be a good idea, time to time, for us to sit down and have a chat about what we believe is going on in the local market. Well, we're back, and some of us more back than others. You've been away, haven't you?
I have.
Did you have a nice time?
I had an amazing time, thank you. It was warm and someone made my bed for me. I asked for very little in life. I was happy for a week.
Free drinks?
Yeah,
Fine.
happy days.
Didn't you climb a mountain this time as well?
No, I climbed down a mountain, James. I don't climb up mountains. I climb down mountains. It's easier.
How did you get up? Did they airlift you?
Cable car.
Oh, there's a cable car up?
Yeah. And normal people take the cable car back down again.
Yeah.
But we walked.
How long did that take?
4.5 hours.
On
Every
holiday?
step was painful, and I've been feeling it ever since.
We holiday very differently.
It's rubbish.
Sarah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not doing it again. We've all agreed as a family there's no need to ever do that again.
Well, you've done it.
Including my 13-year-old. We said, well, what if you come back with your family when you're our age? He said, I'll just tell him it's not worth it. We're not doing it again. So, yeah, he's absolutely vetoed it for the rest of his life.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree,
It
does
doesn't.
it?
I'm very proud of him.
Oh, brilliant. All right. Well, it's been a busy week while you were away. I nearly died.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I purposely didn't ask when you put out that thing about, oh, it's been an awful time.
Yeah.
I didn't ask because I knew you'd thrown the hook, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm stepping away from that
Yeah.
because I knew you were going to bring
Listen,
it up.
I'm not
What happened?
I'm not melodramatic.
Did you really nearly die?
No, but the doctor came out to see me. Thanks, Jeremy. No, I'm all right now. I'm on the mend. I'm on the mend. Last day or so of antibiotics, but I'm all right.
You're going to have to clarify what happened.
You're perfectly safe sitting next to me. I had an ear infection, and it felt like my world was ending. So there you go. Anyway. Right.
Okay, good.
Yes, but good. So today, we brought someone along. After the success of Fiona coming in last month and talking to us about the world of interiors, what I thought would be a good idea is to actually bring in the chap who makes that come to life as well. So we have got the wonderful Dave Cooper from Cooper's Design and Build.
Hi guys, thank you for having me here.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
It's lovely to have you.
So much to talk about as well. The world of building in our business is so topical on a daily basis, whether it's someone just looking to do a little refurb or someone to build their own house. So there's lots and lots to ask you. So apologies, you're going to be grilled.
Ask away, I'll do the best I can.
Well, yeah.
Well, we've lost count of the number of times we've messaged you during a viewing, haven't we? Dave, 5-packet cost. How much would it be to do this? And you're brilliant. You just come back and you're like, oh, send me the floor plan. I'll have a look. And you always come back with something really helpful. So,
Oh, thanks.
yeah. So
And I think building and refurbishment work especially is really a hot topic at the moment because obviously costs have changed so much over the years. It's something that we're always asked at. And I think a lot of people want to know the real nitty gritties of things. And the burning question that everybody has really is, how do you get your hair so fluffy? Because it's just a joy. Every time we see you, everyone talks about Dave Cooper's hair.
Dave Cooper's hair. And it's been shorn.
It
This
has.
is the
It's
controlled
shorter.
look, isn't it?
It's more controlled. But is it natural oils? Is it...
It's just conditioner, just Tresemme, and we're there.
Tresemme,
Nice
good God,
one.
yeah, brilliant.
Lovely.
Oh, great. But
We love you.
all joking aside, you have come out and you've seen some of our houses as well, haven't you? You've
I've
been
seen
there.
a fair few, yeah. And as you said, I've seen a lot through your when you send texts to me, and they're always incredible, James.
Yeah.
And there's always so much potential what you could do to them. And everyone lives things differently, right? So
Yeah.
everyone's got a different way of living in their own home.
Yeah, and even more so, we've all talked about it since lockdown, and it seems a long time ago now. But the way that we live has changed even in the last 3 years, hasn't it? It's so funny to be able to put your finger on the pulse and say that's when things changed.
Yeah. But that's absolutely what happened, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, what are you seeing at the moment? What's the most kind of work you're doing at the moment for your clients? Is it straightforward extensions? Is it loft conversions? Is it knocking down houses? What's the kind of the main trend at the moment?
Goodness. Well, we're doing a massive array of different projects. So people aren't moving so much, I don't think, at the moment. I think people are renovating.
Yeah.
It's kind of the sweet spot, isn't it? Because people are thinking, do we renovate rather than sell because it's so expensive to move, or it can be, with stamp duty and all the associated costs.
Well, you just think, since lockdown, what have prices gone up? Prices have gone up 30% probably since the start of 2020.
So do you really need to move house, or do we need to get someone like a Dave in to come and make up the home we're already in what we now need it to be? So, yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, I think in the last couple of years, since COVID, there's been a massive change because there was Brexit just before that. Yeah. So there is a massive change in the last couple of years to the housing market. You've got tradespeople, there's a lack of. You've got materials.
Is there still, Dave? Is there still a lack of trade?
A massive lack of trades.
And
skilled tradespeople.
And are we blaming Brexit for this?
I don't know what the reason is, but whether it's COVID or Brexit, but there's a lack of people regardless. So there's a lack of people. There's the materials have gone up heavily, and they've plateaued at the moment, but they're still high.
And when you say materials have gone up, are we talking glass? We're talking
everything,
not brick,
everything.
Bricks.
Yeah, bricks have gone up heavily.
Timber's gone up, hasn't it? A lot.
Yeah, timber went up. Plasterboard's gone up. Copper's gone up. Sanitary ware, supply of items, everything has gone up, everything. And it's not just gone up a little bit. You know how builders, they could adjust their prices per year. In the last couple of years, it's just jumped up a lot. I've noticed a few builders that have just close to retirement have jacked it in now because it's just they haven't been able to keep it up so quickly. Yeah. So they've just, so yeah, there's a massive change in the prices. So labour's gone up, materials have heavily gone up. The supply of items, you can get hold of things now. In the COVID times, it's really hard to get hold of things. But you could get stuff.
Weren't we on a WhatsApp group where someone was desperate for plaster?
Yeah.
You couldn't get plaster for love nor money.
We were getting it from Northern Ireland.
No way.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was buying pallets and pallets, but because we kept production going, and that was key. But yeah, so in the last couple of years, getting hold of people is really hard. Getting hold of materials was very difficult, and the price have gone up. Everything's just gone up. It used to be expensive, now it's really expensive.
Yeah, but we're still seeing a demand from customers to do the work, aren't we?
And I'm heavily busy. I'm constantly seeing clients. We've got loads of inquiries, and I could take on so much more work. I just can't because I've got a fairly good sized company. I've got 20 staff all in, fully employed, and I use subcontractors. Wow. And yet I can't feel. I'm booked up all year. I could just about get a few more little jobs in, but I'm booked up all year and I'm booking into next year. So I would say if you're going out there to get building work, you need to find a builder. It's 6 to 9 months wait time for a good builder. It's normal.
That's normal now.
Absolutely.
And with some, I mean, you're saying you're booking what, maybe 12 to 18 months now?
If I had to do another, I've got quite a lot going on, but if right now I've got a couple of bathrooms going on in Weybridge. I've got a couple of complete refurbishments in Claygate, and I've got a new build in Ripley, a 4-bedroom house in Ripley, and that's taken me right up to the end of the year. I've got a few little spots for little small jobs, which is always handy. But
you're running five projects at the same time.
Yeah, 5 or 6 projects. But now January, I'm looking at if there's a real, January I can start a new building project. Before that though, we could do all the design work. So remember, I've got me an architect, interior designer. So
it's all the lead times that you could be working on now to get in.
Yeah, and you need to have the design done right because proper preparation and planning prevents poor performance. So
very nicely said. Well done.
No worries. So
this is a family show, or is it? Sorry, Harry. That's a Harry Styles line. And I have to say as well, the other thing, because you have got the design service as well. Planning permission's taking a lot longer as well.
Yeah, well,
at the moment, certainly depending on which borough you're in, planning permission we're finding is taking a lot longer than.
There's a few excuses that come out the mix when you're going in. They haven't got the time stamped on the pictures that you sent in, so they get to delay a bit of time.
Oh,
so
really?
There's little tricks. I'm sure that they all.
Wow.
But we get it, guys. We get it. So they're overwhelmed, right? They're understaffed, overwhelmed. So yes, things are taking a bit of time. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, let's talk trends. Let's give the people what they want. We talk about with us, everyone living in that kitchen family zone,
the heart of the home.
The heart of the home. Mm-hmm. Is that still a massive trend for you, where people are unhappy with that space that they've currently got, and they're looking at that big extension at the back? Is it fair to say that's probably number one?
People still like the open plan living. They still love it, but they've got to also have that separate reception rooms just so they can run away from the children, or the children can be put away from the adults. So the open plan living is still going. I've done so much of it.
Yeah.
It's incredible. There's you had a lovely Fiona on last time.
We did.
She was amazing. I agree with everything she said. The double dishwasher. I thought I'm the only one who knew about that. She was absolutely brilliant. There's 3 extra things I think that's coming in though. There's the critical door style that's inside the house. You go into the hallway and you've got these metal critical door styles that go into the open plan living, and it invites you in, right?
Yeah.
And then you go see through the garden. Everyone likes that kind of look. You've got you've got paneling, internal paneling, all different shapes and sizes and styles. So you've got like diagonals, you've got squares, you've got rectangles, you've got ones with wallpaper inside, all that paneling. People love all that. And the third thing I think that's really in trend at the moment, a statement piece, is the downstairs cloakroom.
Yes.
So in the cloakroom, people are having like loads of like wallpapers in there, like tropical birds or really dark and.
Yeah. But someone said to me about downstairs loo that's where you can really show your personality because it is an enclosed space.
There's some dark personalities out there.
Okay, so you can tell a lot by a person.
Well, I had flamingos in mine, didn't I? I had flamingos.
Now you've got jaguars.
Jaguars.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice, that's really cool.
I think that pretty much sums you up, though, doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
The light in the dark.
Careful. But yeah, I have to say, I think you can have a bit of fun with it. It's nice when we love it when we go into our houses. Some of them, we go and see some, and you sort of, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice. When we go and see something with personality, it makes our hearts sing.
Love it. Yes.
I mean, we've just been to one 2 weeks ago.
Dreamy.
Dreamy. It's unbelievable. And you see these things, and it brings a smile to your face.
And it inspires you. I mean, there was one house that we had on the market a couple of years ago, and every time I went, it had been so beautifully designed, so beautifully laid out, and the colours and everything. I'd go home and say, right, family, we're going to paint a wall. What are we going to do? We've got to get some more life into this house. And I think, you being on the front lines of that and, helping someone to create a space that is genuinely for them, I think is amazing. So,
I'll tell you another thing that's coming out, actually, is how people change tiles and stuff into a bathroom?
Yeah.
Mixing metals. Have you seen that?
No.
Mixing metals. So a bit of black and a bit of brass. Rather than the chrome, they're mixing up metals. So you might have a black radiator, but you've got brass. It could be done really badly. But if you could get I find that starting to happen now. So
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, mixing metals.
Right.
Handles, all that kind of stuff, yeah.
Gosh, you
really
could
interesting.
do a terrible job of that, couldn't you? But
yeah.
if you get it right, I can imagine it would look amazing.
Yeah, I think just the two types of metal inside of a bathroom, you're there. So, but you keep the other stuff around it is sort of neutral.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so all these trends, they're all happening. It's they're incredible though.
Yeah.
And with regards, again, one of the main reasons why people move is to get more space. So obviously you're doing that. The other thing is bedrooms. So are you still finding a lot of people are trying to squeeze extra bedrooms into a house?
Opposite, absolutely opposite.
Really?
I think now what people are doing now, they like the flow of the home.
Right.
So I think people so I think they're trying to size up the bedrooms rather than trying to squeeze it rather than little warrens everywhere. They're trying to open up hallways. So I've just done this amazing job in Claygate where we've opened up the hallway. So although that's just travel space and corridor space, it makes the room feel better.
It sets the tone, doesn't it?
It's incredible.
A 1930s landing. I love a 1930s landing because it is such a lovely space in the house. It's a proud space, isn't it? So yeah, trying to get more of those in. Yeah. But then what's happened to the bedrooms? How many have you had to sacrifice bedrooms or just reconfigure?
If there's a 5 or 6 bedroom house, take it down to 4 to 5 bedroom. It's no problem, is it?
Really?
The square meterage is big, isn't it? They're just making it more a better space to live. So I think it's the flow of the building. So I mean, you must guys get that about making the whole place flow.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's more paramount than it is squeezing everything in there.
I'm just picturing a 6-bedroom house in Claygate. The kids have gone off to university and they're like, right, let's do Toby's room. Let's get rid of Toby's room. I want a bigger landing. I want my gym and I want a library up here. They're not coming back.
Do it before he gets back.
Yeah.
Christmases are coming.
Get that skip on the drive. Absolutely.
That's
brilliant. Gosh. And then outside the house, we often talk, obviously there's some fantastic gardens and things. Are you doing garden rooms? I mean, Fiona, I think, mentioned that as well.
Yeah.
Because home offices now, we need 2. We need 2 in each house.
Working spaces,
and again, spaces for kids. I've just been talking to someone, an amazing family, but with 3 boys, and it was, how can we get them out of the house? Mm-hmm. And could we do a garden room for them with the big TV, cinema roomy kind of PlayStation vibe, whether they put a gym in there to burn off some energy and stuff like that. And are you seeing as much of a trend for garden rooms still?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think because people are working from having a garden room where they're putting the study in there, or they want that in the house more likely. Yeah. And outside, the other, it's either a gym or a hobbies room.
Refugees.
Yeah, so they have that in there. So, but people are going, you can get garden rooms at a relatively good cost, but then when people want toilets in there, water in there, full-on electric in there that can take your heating and all that kind of stuff, and I've done a few, that ramps up. You're building a small dwelling, so things become expensive, but people are doing that.
But really worth it. I'm a big fan. I think if you've got the garden space for it, and it fits and it sits and it works,
it's such a bonus.
It's square footage on the house as well.
I was just about to say that.
It is.
Yeah, back to you. Would that add value back to the house? I imagine it would do.
It's square footage on the house. We have this conversation time and time again. If it's done properly, if it's a shed, then no, it's got to have at least a window. Then it's a summer
Although
house.
we
Then
did-
then it's a summer house. Then yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think if it is a functional room, then it will add tremendous value back into the house.
Well, we've heard amazing ideas that people have had when we've shown properties with an outdoor space like that. And, we've gone, oh, yes, it could be a study, it could be a gym. And then someone came and said, oh, it could be my painting room.
Yes.
And, and yoga studio or whatever. And there were just so many ways that people would benefit from having this extra space. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. I don't think it's going to be a trend that's going away anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I do also appreciate, I was going to ask you about, is it usually a bigger project than people expect it to be? Because they'll
Massively.
go, oh, we'll definitely have some electrics. Oh, well, that's digging up the garden and all of that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I done one in Surbiton, and they just wanted this outside entertaining area, and it only had to have an ensuite, a little kitchenette, a study area, as well as.
they were going to do some entertaining.
I know.
weren't they?
So yeah. So it was a small dwelling. If it's got an ensuite, that's the bathroom in your house. It's got a little kitchenette. It's a kitchen, and so. That was like over £100,000 to do all that, because you've got to get all the services down there, and you're building a dwelling. So yes, they are massively more expensive, but it's not a shed. So when you're putting installations in there, you'll make it. It's not a shed. You're building a little annex.
But then all of a sudden, you've got a completely different home environment, haven't you? So,
Well, I was going to follow on from that as well, because the big thing we're being asked now as well is these outdoor kitchens. And I don't know if you're into doing those yet.
Not yet. I'm actually seeing one tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, funny enough, but I haven't done one yet. But yeah, I know outdoor kitchens are. I'm hearing about, but I haven't done one yet.
Well, again, we've been to Value House last week. 2 weeks ago, because you were away last week. But which had the pool and the outdoor kitchen in, and it's just
incredible.
It's absolutely
revolutionised.
we could do with some sunshine.
Yeah.
That would be great. But it's a trend that we're seeing more and more now. People looking at creating a proper, not just a barbecue,
entertaining space,
but a proper entertaining space. And if that is combined with a garden room nearby,
with a loo,
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
it just changes everything. It's absolutely brilliant.
I think it's really exciting.
It is. So much you can do these days.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was it? What was the builder's phrase? We can do anything. It's just how much it costs.
That's very true.
Right. Shall we have a quick break? Because I'm thirsty.
Okay.
What have you brought today?
It's a good one. It's another Silent Pool gin. And
Still not sponsoring us.
Still not sponsoring us.
Have they been in touch?
Haven't heard a word from them.
Silent
No.
Pool.
Silent Pool. Shame
I-
on you.
I drive
I
past-
love you very much.
My daughter goes to see her friend a little bit further on from you. So I'm driving past you all the time. I can pop in for a chat. No problem at all. Silent Pool.
Anyway,
Yes.
they have brought out a limited edition Coronation Gin. Whoop, whoop. You're wearing the purple, thank you. That is the signature colour of the bottle.
Oh, right.
To celebrate the King's coronation.
I didn't know.
You didn't know what? We had a king
Well,
or about the gin?
I didn't know I had to wear purple today.
Oh, no, I know. That's
No.
just brilliant. You were just
Okay.
vibing. I love
Yeah.
it. Thank you. Yeah. So this is the gin.
Yes.
It's got Earl Grey tea in it.
Ooh.
It's got special botanicals, florals of the King's favourite flowers, which I can't remember what they are. Roses, I think, comes into it.
Yes.
And there's some bergamot in there. So I've kept everything else very simple. Shush.
Yeah.
I've kept it all very
Just
simple
try
with just
drink
normal
it.
tonic and a slice of orange. Cheers.
All right. Lovely. Dave, thanks for
Cheers,
coming along.
guys. Thank you.
Brilliant.
God save the king.
Ah,
I said it.
is that the first time you said that?
Yes.
Well done.
I
Yes.
think so.
Well done, Charlie.
That's nice.
That'll do, won't it?
That'll do.
Oh, that'll do.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Can we have a follow up after?
Of course you can.
yeah, that's a bit of me, I tell you. Well done. Excellent gin there from the makers at Silent Pool.
Who remained silent.
To remain silent, but they will be in touch.
There we go.
Right, now, you mentioned earlier one of the projects you're working on is a new build over in Ripley. And that's interesting because we have suddenly got involved
In a lot more plots.
a
haven't we?
lot more plots now. So we're in discussions now with lots of buyers who are designing their dream homes. What are the pitfalls? What are the things that people should be looking out for? Because everyone, it sounds so romantic,
Yeah.
doesn't it? I'm going to buy an old house.
We're going to just
I'm
build our
gonna-
dream home.
I'm going to
And
bowl it over.
Yeah.
and then I'm going to build my dream home.
what's
But
the actual reality?
what's the reality on that, Dave?
Right, the reality is to get to that point of planning is really difficult, and it takes time and money. So just to get to the planning is hard work, but if you persevere, you'll get there. I think the biggest thing when you're doing a new build, the biggest thing is knowing the budget. So what we do, because we do, like I said earlier, sorry to bore you again, but we do the architect and the interior design and all the build, and we put everything together. We do the whole holistic thing. But what we what I love doing is I love putting the budgets together and say, right, you've got A, B, and C option, A, B, and C cost.
Yeah.
This is where you are. But there's two parts of the costing. You've got one, which is the construction side of thing, to give it to the bare bones. You've got the electrics, the plumbing, the plasterboarding, the plastering, and all that kind of stuff. Then you've got the supply of items. Mm-hmm. So if you could, a lot of builders just give you that cost, but you also need the supply of items cost, because there's no point in saying I can do this particular kitchen room at £30,000 with all underfloor heating and everything like that, but you've got to buy a kitchen which is another £30,000 or more, and then you've got to buy worktops, then appliances and stuff like that. So really, you need to get a whole budget together for your new build. So because you need to manage your own expectations.
Yeah.
So what we do right at the beginning, we have that awkward conversation, but once you've done that awkward conversation, you plow through things really quickly. You talk about money at the beginning. It's really British, I suppose. Yeah. But if you say, right, let's look at budget. Where are we with the budget? Where are we going to go from? And this dictates the size of the house. Obviously, you want to build as big as you can. But so I think budget is one of the most important things. You get most VAT 0 rated. So a really good way of, a good tip here, if you could pick up the house and shake it, anything that falls out, you have to pay VAT on.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a really clever way. So a carpet.
Stealing that.
We're having that.
A carpet falls out, that means that carpet is VAT. You have to pay VAT on it. But anything that stays inside there, like integrated appliances like fridge freezers and stuff like that, that's 0 VAT. Yeah, so
love that.
So it's a really interesting way of doing stuff. So yeah, so and do you know what? It's really cost effective if you're building a house from scratch. 0 rated VAT makes a massive. It's 20%.
Right.
20%.
And what are we looking at on energy ratings now and things like that? Is that
the
something that
EPCs?
you're?
Oh my
Is
goodness.
that something that you're looking at in much more detail? I mean, obviously the rules have changed. We need solar panels and all this kind of stuff. But
they've changed again. So back in June, July. So now your insulation of a house is massively upgraded.
Okay.
So where you could have 50 mil Celotex, insulation inside your walls, it's got to be 90 mil now.
Wow.
So all the insulation values on the house insulation is not cheap. So that's gone up again. So on this last 2 years that we talked about earlier, it's all gone up, it's expensive. But yeah, so everyone wants to be green. Everyone's after being green.
I was going to say, is there a feeling from customers that they're embracing it rather than seeing it as a
But the cost of it is expensive. So solar panels are fine.
I think Kermit said it best when he said it's not easy being green.
It's not easy being green. I said that this morning.
Did you?
Literally. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and I said Kermit the Frog said that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Well, it's not maybe it's not cheap being green now, is it?
No, but when you've got the ground source heat pump and ground source heat pumps and air source heat pumps, that's what people are trying to go for, the plumbing system.
Right.
So really good tip. If you're going to have those systems there, have underfloor heating, which is obviously the most desirable system to have because it frees up wall space. Right. So open plan living is great. But if you have open plan living, you lack wall space, it becomes very precious.
Nice.
So underfloor heating is the perfect thing to go for.
Like that.
So underfloor heating works really well with those green energy systems. Amazing. So it's really good. So that's really good. But yeah, new builds.
One thing I was going to say, when you said the conversation we have at the beginning, where is the beginning? So if, we're going, we're going to buy our dream home. We're going to we've bought a plot, and then we go to you and you go, oh, you shouldn't have done that. What stage of the process would you like to be involved, to get involved in?
I would happily jump in right at the beginning before, as you're buying the as you're buying the plot, then you can make contact with people and say, what can and can't you do? Because you've got, 3 months roughly to buy a house or plus or something. So have a look at what you can and can't do. It's not always as simple as it seems. So this one we're doing in Ripley, they really fought hard to get this planning permission for their house. Took them a couple of years and they persevered and they got it. And they're
Brilliant.
lovely. They're really good. So, and they're trying to keep it all green. And they got a ground source heat pump and all that stuff. So yeah, right at the beginning, we'd happily help you go through all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because you mentioned earlier, you said that like any project we do, we bring on the client as team members and we work as a team, and then relationship for life, which is what we've always lived by as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got an incredible team. We've got an incredible team, and we like to go from the beginning to the end. And we don't want to fight you. We want to be with you. So you join our team, and we're going to build you your dream home.
Yeah,
we're going to build your dream home. We're going to do it together. Then we're going to leave it with you, and we're going to do someone else's dream. So that's what we want to do.
I love that. Yeah,
build it for life.
Yeah.
So so that's what we're trying to do. So I think if you have regular communication with your builder as well, so every 2 weeks we have meetings. That's what we personally do, and comms is everything. So once you've got communication every 2 weeks, you know where you are with the budget, how they're feeling, because their perception is their reality. So the client, You've got to understand how they're feeling through it. They've got different things in their mind, what they're worried about. They might be worried about hinges on a door frame, or they might be worried about what kitchen or what colour's going to have. But if you ask them, are you okay with everything? And if they've got a bit of stress with something, then we could go into that and look into that and solve that. Building's easy. Building's easy as long as you've got the right design, right?
Okay, yeah. But I think that's great. And I really like that every time we've spoken about the way you work with your clients, I really like your ethos. And I think that's what makes you really stand out. So, yeah, you're doing a lot of things right, Dave.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, a big thank you to Dave for coming in and chatting to us all things building. So if you do want to build a house, get in touch with him at Cooper's Design and Build. And if you want to sell one, get in touch with us because we are desperate for more stock now. There are simply not enough houses on the market. We hope you've enjoyed it. And if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch.